Hello, people. As we continue talking about voice, remember I told you that the acronym for voice is victoriously outspoken, initiating corrective environments. And when you think about the acronym for voice, and I know that God gave me the acronym to be clear, to be concise, because anybody can say anything. There are so many times where I think people are trying to convey one thing, but based on the person that they're speaking to, they don't use the right words or they don't choose the words carefully. And what you say and what you think it means to you is not the same way somebody else will perceive it. I can't tell you how many conversations I've been in and I'm thinking we're talking together, right? And the Bible tells us, how can two walk together unless they agree? So I say something and they think, oh yeah, we're saying the same thing. And halfway down the road, we realize, and we're about to go to two different directions. You're going to the right and I'm going to the left, but we thought we were saying the same thing. Because behind every word that we use and everything that we say, we have meaning. We have things that we're thinking about. We have a whole history. When you're communicating and you're talking, you're thinking about yourself, your past, your history. So you might say something, and behind the scenes in your head, it means all of these things. But if you do not verbally communicate, if you do not ask the person you're speaking with questions, if you do not follow up to make sure that what you're saying they are understanding, communication hasn't taken place. You've talked, they've heard, and two people walk away with completely different ideas. And that's the start of frustration, aggravation, arguments, discontent, and division. Because you thought you said something, you thought you were communicating something, and it didn't go over. That's why the acronym for voice is victoriously outspoken, initiating corrective environments. And I say corrective environments because a lot of times it's not about me correcting you or you correcting me. It's about leading an environment that is corrective, that we can both explain and say, this is what I meant, and let me tell you why I think this way, and then you tell me. Because once again, the way we communicate, the words that we speak, the words that we choose to speak, the words that we say, everything that we do when it comes to communication is based on something we have experienced. That's why you can't afford to just throw out all of your experiences and act like they don't matter, because you communicate based on those. If I give somebody advice, I'm communicating and giving that advice based on my past, and I'm saying, hey, if I were you, and this is what I did and this is what I didn't do. See what I mean? And in that same frame, you've got to think about it when you get through talking to somebody, to make sure that when you guys walk away, that you both walk away with the same meaning. Whether it be a husband and wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, just girlfriends, you have to make sure that what you're saying and what you meant to say is what's understood. Because when you walk away and nobody clarifies, you don't know how you leave the other person. You don't know what they sit with. You don't know how they take it. You don't know how they process it. And then their understanding, they're going to communicate their understanding to somebody else who's going to weigh in on it. Because guess what? We all vent. Everybody vents. We all talk about how we feel. We all talk about something, and we're doing it from our perspective. And naturally, when you say it from your perspective, the person you're venting to, 9 times out of 10, based on the way you deliver it, they're going to jump on your side. So now you're building a wall, you're building a whole army based on something that is the very essence of it, the very foundation is miscommunication. You have to understand to whom you're speaking. There are certain words that I would not say to certain people because I know how they think. There's certain things I would not say. I had a client, and when the client started communicating to me, immediately in my mind, I put together something that I was like, ooh. And then based on what they said to me, I did not speak anything to them. I didn't say what I thought. I felt like a couple of people went against and tried to prey upon that person's hard and tried to set them up and got money out of them. I wouldn't say that because when they told me their background, I thought, oh my gosh, if I say that and put those pieces together, I do not know how the person would take it and what they would do. And once I put it out there, there's no way I can determine or bring it back. So, in that same light, when you're talking to people, there are certain words that will charge certain people. There's certain things, there's certain intentions, and we know that. And when you know your influence and when you know how you move a person, you've got to do it responsibly. You cannot just do it haphazardly or just off the cusp or just because you feel like it and just say anything and then feel like you walk away. Because with influence comes accountability and responsibility. So, when you think about being victoriously outspoken, use your voice wisely. Too often we're silent when we should be talking and talking when we should be silent. It's been your girl Candid with Kim, and I'm just hoping that this episode of Voice will leave you and help you to go out and communicate better, to go out and to create some corrective environments, to create some environments where both people can share and everybody walk away with a better understanding. Make sure you watch, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and then share it with a friend.